Wednesday 646, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Wanda, it's all you.
Mic check.
Mic check.
So, mic check. So if you stay tuned, we're going to play the video, and I have two kings that are fighting for justice real hard. You do not want to miss this. We'll be back in like 4 minutes. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops or in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No.
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up. No.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah,
Profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Sir, do me a favor, take out your keys.
Dad, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I won't do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now.
Yeah? And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we're getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm going to keep my camera on because there's no need to even focus on me. I have my two very special guests, and even though it's sad while they're on here, you know,
we're back.
but at the same time,
Mic
like,
check.
this is not a club that we signed up for. We don't want anything to happen to our loved ones, friends, and everything. And tonight I have Sonia Massey's dad, Mr. James, on here, and I have my brother Malcolm on here, and he's been fighting for his friend, a friend of his that was killed by his probationary officer. This is disgusting. So I'm just going to hand it over to both of you guys. And first of all, I want to, you know, just give you both a shout out and just say, y'all, my heart is with you guys, and, you know, keep the fight up. And I just, you know, I'm so honored to have you guys here just standing as kings, fighting proudly. And I just welcome you to West Wednesday, and thank you guys, and it's all yours. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Thank you, Tawana. Malcolm, why don't you go ahead? I mean, I have been a guest here on West Wednesdays before, but go ahead and tell your story, because I have received partial justice.
Okay. And I appreciate you passing me the mic, Mr. James, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And just for you, what you have endured with your daughter, and I hope you continue to fight for the justice that you and your family deserves. I'm here from Erie, Pennsylvania, speaking on behalf of Marcello Woodard, who was murdered by his probation officer July 2nd, 2025 in Erie, Pennsylvania. Marcello was an unarmed black man in his car. He was shot 3 times. And to this day, we have not even had a press conference from the district attorney. The family has not gotten any answers about Marcello being murdered. So we have been here in Erie, Pennsylvania, just stomping the ground hard to make sure that his name is kept up and the proper authorities come through and make this decision right. I've been standing on the premise of right is right and wrong is wrong. And they need to come in and make this situation right. His family deserves justice. Marcello has 3 children that they no longer have their dad. He has a mom, he has a father, fiance, a list of cousins and sisters and brothers. So with his situation is, again, like I explained to you earlier, he was killed by his probation officer. He is the first person in Pennsylvania to be killed by their probation officer. He is the second person in the United States to be killed by a probation officer. And that is only 2 people that you've ever heard about this before. So we are demanding justice here in Erie, Pennsylvania. The powers that be have been too quiet. We've had nobody step up from any part of law enforcement, not the district attorney here. We haven't heard from the governor of Pennsylvania, Mr. Josh Shapiro. We've been calling on him to come in and help us. We've even been asking that the district attorney recuse herself and bring somebody else in, because we've noticed that there's a conflict of interest. We've seen pictures of the district attorney and the probation officer together in pictures. They've been on podcasts together, and this is not right. Again, this probation officer was not arrested. He has continued to be out on the streets. We've heard that he is actually still working somewhere in Pennsylvania as a probation officer. And he murdered somebody. If it was the other way around, if I did this to somebody, I would have went to jail that same day. This family deserves answers. They deserve justice. Marcello has an 8-year-old son who is going through it right now. His mom just showed a picture of him sleeping in bed with a big poster of his dad laying next to him, and that has done something to the community just by seeing that picture. You know, they say a picture tells a thousand words, and that picture is it was a hurt piece. It definitely was a hurt piece. We're asking for anybody to help us continue spreading the word. That's why I'm happy you're on here with me, Mr. James. Just because of what you went through with your daughter, you're another voice for us to spread this message about Marcello Woodard, and we're hoping that somebody actually will pick this up and continue listening to us. Again, he has a family that loves him, and a lot of people are hurting in this city just because we haven't heard anything. And when I say we haven't heard anything, there's been no press conference. There's been nobody from law enforcement or the Pennsylvania State Police that has came out and said anything. They might throw little bits and pieces of, we're working on a case, but other than that, the first statement, and that was probably back on July 5th, and they automatically gravitated towards the probation officer, but it wasn't fact-based. So now we're starting to get little trinkets of facts. They got to backtrack. You know what I mean? Like, we feel that this is an injustice. It feels like corruption at the highest level. And again, he was an unarmed black man killed by a white man. And this white man is still free. He never went to jail. And we want to stress that part, that he never went to jail. You can actually see him walking up the street to where Marcello's car was at. But remember, I said he said he got dragged. There's no evidence whatsoever of him being dragged. And this family deserves to hear something from this district attorney or Governor Josh Shapiro. We do have a transition that is going on right now. We have a new county executive coming in, and we also have a new mayor coming into Erie, Pennsylvania. So we're hoping that we can work closely with them and they can change some things up here, because we also know with this happening, change must come. This cannot happen again in our some people that are continue to push Marcello's name until he gets justice. Justice needs to be served, and that gentleman that did that, along with his partner, they need to face the repercussions. Again, if it was me, I know what would happen. This is a tragedy that should have never happened. And I mean, we're talking about a probation officer, Mr. James, not a police officer, a probation officer who was supposed to guide you and make sure you're on the right path to be reintegrated back into society. And again, Marcello had 2 weeks left of probation. And sadly, he was shot and killed by a Pennsylvania State probation officer.
Mm. Has his family contacted civil attorneys to file at least a civil action against the county there in Erie, Pennsylvania?
I believe his family does have representation. For me, I don't get involved with what the family has going on as far as attorneys. I don't believe that is my space I should be in. So I let them do what they need to do with that. I just chose the angle of being someone that was willing to step out and keep his name alive until the powers that be come in and serve some justice for his family.
Okay. Has the district attorney turned this investigation over to somebody other than the county?
From what we know, it's been bouncing back from the Pennsylvania State Police back to the district attorney, and she ended up sending it back to them. Other than that, there's not been anything discussed as far as this case. The only thing that she has left 3 statements, and they all say the same thing, that they're working on the case. Other than that, nobody has heard anything. And again, this happened July 2nd. We are what? Today is December 10th. And not one word.
What a horrible, horrible story. So we hope that Marcello's family can get justice, full justice, not just partial justice that we received. Our killer can get at least 20 years. He has been found guilty of second-degree murder. But he has requested this past week, requested a new trial. I spoke with the state's attorney there in Illinois this past week, and he will be pressing for the whole 20 years that he can be given in the second-degree murder conviction that he's looking at. It's almost a given that many times killers who are convicted of anything, they make this request for a new trial. We believe that Judge Cadigan there in Illinois will not grant this request, and we're looking at January 29th of 2026 for his sentencing. We believe that the judge will listen to what his attorneys are asking for, and he will continue and go ahead with the sentencing on that date. We are preparing myself and Sonia's 3 sisters to give our victim impact statements at that time in Springfield, Illinois. That is the latest that I can give you on my situation. I'm hoping that Marcello's family can at least get some semblance of justice. I think it's only been since July. It's so horrible that he only had 2 weeks left on probation, and this unfortunate situation happened. My heart goes out to his family, and whatever we can do from this office to help his family, feel free to give them my contact information, and I will talk to that family and see what I can do as far as pointers are concerned in this battle, because we're in this battle together, all of us.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. At some point, they will have to stop killing unarmed brown people, black people, and poor whites. They kill poor whites too.
Absolutely.
It's a matter of money more than anything. And many times the Fraternal Order of Police are the ones who have been funding my killer's trials, his appeals to the Illinois Supreme Court, because we knew he didn't have the kind of money that would be necessary to carry on the kind of fights that, but every time he has been in court, there's been some member of our family in that courtroom to make sure that he sees some.
I think we're having technical difficulties on Mr. James, and so we're gonna tune in to see if he can straighten it out. And I also see there's a lot of comments, lots and lots of comments. I just want to check in real quick to see if Kalia is here to read off the comments tonight. Mic check.
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so starting off with life after the impact, mic check from the social experiment, tuned in from Erie, Pennsylvania. AC Britt, I wonder if Abdul Salam knows that there's raw footage of his ordeal in one of the documentaries. We just saw this king on Sunday. Alicia Michelle commented, "Hey brother, hashtag justice for Cello." Shamel Henderson commented, "Justice for Cello." Gretchen Tome also commented, "Justice for Cello." Cindy Lee Traber commented, "We stand with you, Malcolm." Hashtag justice for Cello. Hashtag justice for Sonia Massey. Ebony McCollum commented, "Justice for Cello." Lanisha Shimenti commented, "Justice for Cello." AC Britt, hashtag justice for Cello. Leanne, justice for Cello. AC Britt, hashtag justice for Tyrone West. AC Britt, all folks in positions that grant them authority over other humans are all off the chain under this fascist regime. There's always a conflict of interest with state's attorneys. Alicia Michelle commented, hashtag justice for Cello, hashtag for Sonia Massey. AC Britt commented, the state's attorney in Baltimore is in the pocket of a racist oligarch and has one of his minions on staff married to the killer cop in the video that we present on here. Marvin Goodwine commented, "Justice for Cello." Broken to Beautiful. The Otis commented, "Hello." Maine commented, "Mic check." Katie Lynn, hashtag justice for Cello, hashtag justice for Sonia Massey. Johnny Real Cloud commented, "Justice for Cello." Mimi O'Connor, hashtag justice for Cello, nonstop. Linda Graffius commented, "Justice for Cello. The silence is deafening." AC Britt commented, "Now stuff is quote unquote making sense knowing he was a white guy." Broken to Beautiful commented, "District Attorney Hertz needs to be removed from this case." AC Britt commented, "I had no idea. There's a certain level of lawlessness going on with all forms of law enforcement these days. The district state's attorneys are complicit in cover-ups." Bill Blesh commented, "Malcolm, I'm impressed with and inspired by your dedication to the fight for accountability for Marcello. My question is this. What first inspired you to get involved in the struggle for social justice?" Mr. Malcolm, would you like to answer this now?
Yeah, I'll definitely answer that. I've always had a level of concern about black issues, and I'll say it just like that. I've always kept my eye on situations. When it happened to George Floyd, that kind of triggered something in me. So when this happened to Marcello, I woke up at 4 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, and I called two people, Shannon Smith and Sarah Bridget, and we went straight into action from that day. And it's just been a lot of different scenarios of people helping and trying to make this cause right. This is not a me thing. This is the whole Erie community and others outside of Erie, Pennsylvania that have been in this fight with us. I wasn't afraid to be vocal about right is right and wrong is wrong, because this is wrong. And looking at this situation from my eyes, that a white man could kill a black person in this manner when he was supposed to be someone that was supposed to be helping Marcello didn't sit well with me. This was a very different case, considering it was not a police officer, but a probation officer. And we're just trying to grasp the fact of how could a probation officer kill somebody? This doesn't make any sense. So again, it was like it was my duty to make sure that I did something. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I had to do something. And here I am. I'm fully invested in making sure that I help his family get justice. And that is how I got here.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I wanted to check back in to see if Mr. James got back connected again. Mic check.
Mic check. So far, I don't think he's come back on.
And I have to say something that Mr. James touched on real quick, and it was about the money portion of what the officer that killed his daughter, how they treated him. And we seen that here from the very beginning. We were able to gain access to certain accounts that the Fraternal Order of Police that were situated with the probation officer. There's Mr. James right there. Mr. James, you touched on some money that that officer was getting that they were giving monies. And I wanted to touch on that too before you got disconnected, because we know here that it was so many people donating money to this probation officer. It was like every 10 seconds, somebody was giving him 20, 50, 100, 1,000. Like, he had thousands of dollars that was donated to him the very next day. And Marcello was on a cold slab in the morgue. And we were sitting there mystified as to, wow, like the backing and support that some of these people showed for a killer, a murderer of an unarmed black man. I was mortified as to how people actually stood up for someone that took a life, and we're still here fighting to this day. So we understand, even if he is to get arrested and they don't charge him with first-degree murder, they charge him with something else, it's a possibility that he will not even touch a jail cell because he already has money to get out on bail. Let alone, again, he hasn't went to jail yet. So for you to say that about how much money that officer was receiving touched me, because we seen the same thing here about how those donations go to people that kill. It's amazing.
The Fraternal Order of Police, they're no longer in the coalition to get his job back, but because he was a member of that organization, they have provided the money for the attorneys that allowed him to, he went all the way up to the Illinois Supreme Court asking to be released prior to trial, October 20th of this year. Thankfully, the Illinois Supreme Court did not grant him that ability to be released. They did make a ruling, a 3-judge panel, but we're talking about en bloc with the whole of the whole Illinois state Supreme Court. They didn't deny it, but they have not given him, and it's based upon what he's going to be charged with in Marcello's killing. Very rarely does anyone who gets charged with first-degree murder with less than 1% are they allowed out on bail? So it's going to be really interesting if there are any charges filed against Marcello's killer at all. And when that happens, as you say, the people have already given money for him to be able to bail out. If he's charged with something less than first-degree murder or second-degree murder or even manslaughter, there are many lesser included offenses to murder that this guy can be charged with. But if the body camera footage for these probation officers showed that this officer was not being dragged, there was no body camera? No. Okay.
No body camera. There's only ring cameras. So we have no body camera on the probation officers. That is one thing that we fought for here in Erie. So they did pass body cameras to be worn for, I believe, county employees who carry guns. That will be coming up, I believe, this next cycle of monies that's to be distributed. But as of July 2nd, the probation officers did not have on body cams. And Mr. James, I don't know if I told you this, when that probation officer approached that car, Marcello was shot within 30 seconds. Three times in the chest, and the probation officer said he was being dragged. That is the defense. That was what they were sticking with. And
so Malcolm, what you're saying, within 30 seconds of the probation officer arriving at the vehicle, their story is that he was being dragged by Marcello's car?
Yes.
Terrible.
And you can clearly see Marcello's foot had to be on the brake when he was approached. So when he got shot, his foot had to come off the brake and the car drifted. But in the video, you do not hear the probation officer say, "I'm being dragged," or his partner like, "Stop, you're dragging him," or anything of that. There's none of that. And then there's a second video where you actually see both the probation officers walking up the street together. So if you're being dragged, you would think that you would be going straight to one of the hospitals here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and your clothes would possibly be ripped to shreds because you're being dragged. And there's none of that. But we do know that it is impossible for you to get out of your car, uncock your gun, shoot this man 3 times in the chest within 30 seconds that you are supposedly being dragged. That doesn't add up. So we have to continue poking holes in that story because something is not right with that. There's no way that can happen. They wasn't even doing that in the Wild Wild West. Now, I believe he got out that car with his gun already off safety, already bullet in the chamber, and proceeded. It almost feels like this was intentional, like he wanted to kill Marcello because remember I said in the beginning, they said this was a compliance check. There can't be a compliance check here because Marcello was pulling up to his fiance's house. So how do you do a compliance check at a place he doesn't live? Wow. He had to be followed.
That part.
So I just
we're still waiting on a completion of this investigation for Marcello's death, right? We still haven't gotten that.
We haven't got anything.
So they're just saying that the investigation is ongoing.
Yes.
Okay.
The exact words is they're making progress. And that is all we've gotten. I mean, we've been to, since July, we've been to every city council meeting, every county council meeting. Soon we're planning on going to Harrisburg, which is the capital of Pennsylvania, to try to continue making some noise for Marcello and his family. But as of anything in the city of Erie, they will not release anything to the family. They will not speak to the family. His mom is not doing well. His father is not doing well because of what's going on. And it just feels like it's a misjustice of power. In my eyes, it feels like this probably will be a one and done term with this district attorney, because I just can't see her winning this seat again just because the way she has handled this case. There's other cases that are happening here where people have been killed, and you've seen an arrest the next day. And I just don't understand what's the difference from Marcello's case compared to any other case just because this man is a probation officer. That doesn't give him a right to murder someone and continue to go on and live his life. You know, Mr. Jen, he was out here for Thanksgiving and he'll probably be out here for Christmas and New Year's. That's the way it's feeling. So this district attorney has our African American community pretty upset because nothing seems fair right now. And we weren't trying to make this a white and black thing, but she's kind of made this a white and black thing by not doing anything or presenting anything to the family. So again, we are going to continue pushing for justice until Marcello's family hears something. And that's why I'm glad we were able to connect with you. I know when I seen you on the last podcast, I definitely was shooting to get your phone number so that you could help us spread this word. I know how powerful your voice is, especially what you got going on with your daughter. And I want to commend you for being a strong man going through that with your daughter. You know, your case was worldwide. We all got to see that video over and over and over. And 20 years is not enough for what he did to your daughter at all. And I can't even say 20 years because he didn't even get sentenced yet. So hopefully he does get the full 20. And that's what we're hoping for with Marcello. Again, this probation officer hasn't been charged with anything. He has continued to be free on these streets. There has been sightings of him in Erie, Pennsylvania, moving around. And we want to make sure that everybody is aware that there is a killer on the loose in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, and I just want to jump in real quick just to say, like, I'm just so sick of this racist system. And that's what it all boils down to. And it's just said that no matter where we go and who we, indulge with, we're not safe at all. We're not safe going to see our probation officer, and then he was literally going to get off in 2 weeks. And the ironic thing is the day that he was going to be off of probation would have been July the 18th, because I did my own research. And that's the day that my brother got killed, executed right here in Baltimore City. One unarmed man brutally murdered, pulled out my Mercedes Benz for no reason while driving black in a murder car. Literally beat to death, pepper spray, tased. They lied, they covered up. And it's just sad. I'm sick of this Clorox system. That's what I call it, because it works perfectly for white people, but it messes up color folks. It's disgusting. It's horrible, and it just needs to stop. And I feel like it's not going to stop until we stop it. Like nobody's coming to save us.
definitely nobody coming to save us. And
It's nobody.
you know, it's funny that you say that nobody was coming to save us, because we looked at this situation like that, like who's coming to help us, and then when we figured it out, like we are the help. It's just been a team of us, a lot of people, making sure that Marcello's name stays alive. You know, his son has recently become very vocal, and that's a good thing. The people need to see his family involved in screaming justice for Cello. There's a lot of moving parts going on with this, and we've been blessed to have many people keep screaming justice for Cello when they could have easily said nothing. His family is dependent on us to continue pushing his name and this story until justice is served for him. We thought that this process would have been a little bit smoother, just because if nothing else, the family deserves a weekly update of what's going on with the case, and they haven't even been able to get that. So that is discouraging. It's discouraging that our district attorney is not willing to speak, let alone to the family or the community, but she's probably having sidebar conversations with other people. I believe the family deserves those sidebar conversations. She owes, if nothing else, she owes Marcello's 2 sons and his daughter that. She owes his mom and his father that, like, to sit and not say anything. And again, this happened on July 2nd. Today is December 10th. That is just crazy within itself, of not hearing somebody that is supposed to be working for the people of Erie, Pennsylvania. The district attorney is elected to work for the citizens of Erie, Pennsylvania, and it feels like she's working for the probation officer. You know, he could have got his due process in jail. And
absolutely,
you know, for him to not even have a handcuff put on him is ridiculous. You know, and they wonder why we continue to scream justice for Cello. You know, it's amazing how many people think that this is a justified killing. I was so hurt by some of the comments that I read online from some of the online trolls who actually think that this is or was a good thing that should have happened to this man is an insult to me as a black man, because that shows me how you feel about my blackness.
yeah, they hate us. They, at the bottom line, my brother, they hate us. Like early on when my brother was murdered, and I was like going online looking at, you know, the comments, and I was warned by my attorney, said, look, whatever you do, don't look at them comments. And then you got all these, you know, gangsters, online gangsters that would, you know, say all this race stuff. They said stuff about Tamir Rice, a baby that was literally killed, gunned down in a playground. And then I'm glad you brought up today's date, because I'm just thinking about when my brother Tyrone West was murdered back in July the 18th in 2013. Literally on this day marks like history, whereas though back then in July, I'm sorry, in December. Yeah, we can hear you, my brother. But I was just saying that this day is significant to me because literally they waited literally 2 weeks before Christmas to break my family heart, to literally, and I'm thinking about back then on December the 10th, 2013, when they literally gave my family a flimsy autopsy report that was lies, like literally a 7-page autopsy report that did not have anything, like no like graphic pictures. They only had like pictures of my brother, like with his hospital gown on, but no autopsy pictures, and just foolishness, right? And they broke my heart. And I'll never forget, at the time it was Greg Bernstein. He did a press conference. We had to wait literally all this time, like 100. I was counting down. I'm like, it's like 154 days. We still ain't hear nothing. And literally, they pulled my family in, and they broke my family heart 2 weeks before Christmas through a big press conference and everything, to say that no officers were going to be charged with the death of Tyrone West. That the autopsy came back and that my brother died of a bad heart and dehydration, and we knew that was lies. So instantly, like, I'm like, no, you ain't, my brother gonna have the last word. And literally, I went in my pocketbook a year later. It took me like a year later or two, but I got a $50,000 of my own money. Ain't no GoFundMe, none of that. I ain't no about no GoFundMe, no donations. Literally, I went in because I'm like, you're not gonna just lie on my brother and say he had a bad heart and he just dropped dead. And that's what they do. And it's just sad. Like, and I'm just looking at how they actually came in Sonia Massey's home. She called for help, thinking somebody was breaking in her home or whatever the case may be. And you call for help, and you come to the door so sweet, so vulnerable. A little petite, beautiful queen. You come and you allow them to come in, and then they execute you. He knew he was going to execute us, just like Cello's probation officer knew that they was going to execute him. They knew this. Like, these are hits, and we got to think about. And even though it was a probation officer and it was killer cops in my case and killer cops, but it's all the same. It's this racist system that does not care about us. And this is my opinion. This ain't West Wednesday, but I believe that not only when they kill us, they literally they like take our organs, because they're not killing unhealthy people. They're killing people that had the whole life ahead of them, that would have perfect hearts. And it's so sad in this world that we live in. We're worth more being dead than we are alive. Like, if you do the research, and I want you guys to do the research on body parts, like literally your eyes, and when you're dead, your eyes is worth literally like $50,000. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, $500,000. Like, it breaks down every part. Your heart is worth like $50,000 or more. Or, no, I'm sorry, $300,000 for a heart. Like, and so it's real. Like, and it may sound like, and I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it is what it is. For me to see so much of corruption, y'all, and literally for me to have my brother's body exhumed, and for me to see his daughter, and we put my brother to rest in a coffin, y'all, wearing a different outfit, and they sent my brother body. We had his body flown out for the second autopsy to find out that he had on a yellow shirt that he was not laid to rest in is ridiculous. Like, literally. And then they took my brother's organs because he was not an organ donor, and for them to fly him out to Dallas, Texas, literally, and not have none of his organs in his body but a bag of organs. See, what you didn't know you killed the wrong man, but you truly got the right sister that's going to fight you to the end. And they didn't expect for me to pull out $50,000 and be like, nah, man, y'all not doing this. And so when you do the stuff that we're doing, all they're doing is studying us. They're studying us. It's like they're writing from a book. All they doing is changing the victim names and giving us the same story. Like, they'll say, we're going to be transparent. We're going to get accountability. We're doing an ongoing investigation. And they don't do nothing. They've been telling me they've been doing an ongoing investigation since July the 18th, 2013. So I'm sick of the Doug and Pony show, but we're here. And when we stand like this strong, the death threats come, the games come, the way they treat us. And I don't know if y'all know about, and I'm a next show I get, I'm gonna bring Michael Brown on my show. And he will tell you literally how they killed all the activists that was on the front line, like you, my brother Malcolm, that's standing up, that's fighting, you know what I'm saying? And, even you, Mr. James, and even people like myself, they will kill you up. They found these brothers burned, like I'm talking about gunned down, burned up in their vehicles. And then one was lynched in his backyard, in his mama's backyard. You can't make this stuff up. Hollywood couldn't make this stuff up. And they do stuff anniversary to let you know, hey, I'm still riding your butt. Like, literally a year ago from yesterday, They did something to my car, and the same exact mechanical issue happened literally yesterday on the dot. Literally, you cannot make this stuff up. I'm on my way to work. I post my picture like I do, and the same. And as I'm pulling over, like, you gotta be kidding me. It's freezing me. It's freezing out here, and I pull in, and I'm like, oh, I know that it's check this. I know because this happened. They like, how you know? They were like, well, if you're saying this right, my sister, then we can quote your price. But how you know? And the man was so disturbed when he was shocked that I knew what was going on with my car. So I set off to say, this fight is real. I ask you guys to make sure y'all be careful, and whatever they do, put them out there. I don't care if it don't sound right. I don't care if people look at you like you got a eyeball in the middle of your forehead. Put it out there, because see, they like to make us look crazy. They like to silence us. They like to kill our voices. They cannot buy you off. Like, they try to give me $1 million to shut up. My own $1 million set aside besides what they gave his kids. I told them, take that money and stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm going to call out every killer that killed my brother and plus some. And so for that, they'll send people to your homes. Like, they cut out my tires. Like, it's not even funny. Like, it's not even funny the hell that we go through as just trying to be peaceful people doing the most American thing, or I say America thing, and that's speaking up. And it's like this: until we stop fighting for our loved ones, they might not be physically here, but they will live on through us. But the minute we stop fighting for them, that's when their coffin closed. That's when they're forgotten. So I just keep on urging everybody, keep on fighting for Cello, keep on fighting for Sonia Massey, keep on fighting for Xavier, keep on fighting for all of our loved ones, because they should be here, but at our table during the holidays and doing every day. So I wanted to check in real quick to see if you guys want to say something, because we have a whole lot of comments. Mic check.
I do want to say something, and you talked about the. I don't even think the family has gotten the autopsy report or any. They haven't gotten, to my knowledge, they haven't got any of that stuff. And again, this is 5 months, going on 6 months of total silence for that family not to get some type of understanding of what happened to Marcello that evening, and that is crazy. Again, for the people, if they just joining in, he only had 2 weeks left of probation, and in fact, we're even hearing that he might have even been off probation. So it's going to be interesting to see some of the stuff that comes out with this. But again, we have a strong community that is fighting, and we understand everybody don't like what we doing, and they could care less about him being killed. But it's a strong group of people who will continue fighting for justice for Cello until justice is served, because he deserves to rest in peace. And right now, I believe he is not resting in peace.
Well, we can look for no help from the Department of Justice. I heard today that about 70% or more of the Department of Justice lawyers who practiced in the Civil Rights Division for us have quit. So there are no civil rights cases being prosecuted right now under this administration. But the great thing is that there is no statute of limitations when it concerns murder. So what they've done to Cello, what they've done to Tyrone, what they've done to my daughter, even if he gets the killer gets the 20 years, when there is a change in the regimes, he can still be prosecuted for the violation of civil rights in these situations. So the murderers cannot rest easy, because none of us will ever give up until somebody shoots some embalming fluid in our bodies. We're always going to be boots on the ground with these kind of situations. At some point, they're going to have to learn to stop killing unarmed Black people, unarmed brown people, unarmed poor white people. like Tawana said, we didn't ask to join this fraternity. We didn't apply to get membership. We were forced into this fraternity.
That
And I
part.
think they have forced the right people into it. Because we're not going to
Absolutely.
give up. We're not going to give up. I don't care what they do. We'll
Absolutely.
always keep fighting.
Absolutely. And I wanted to say to my brothers, I'm just thinking about Malcolm. And when you said about the 2 weeks, literally, my brother was on probation at the time, and they used that against my brother. They said, oh, Mr. West fled. Mr. West got like in this combative state because he was on probation. He didn't want to go back to jail. But literally, my brother, lied to you not, my brother was scheduled to get off of probation 2 weeks. And I lie to you not. I can send you. I come with receipts. So you can't just say outlandish stuff and you can't back it up. Anybody know any and everything I say, I come with receipts. Receipts people that don't even know I have. But my whole point is my brother was scheduled to come off of parole and probation in 2 weeks. I literally had to go to his graduation, literally, when he graduated after he was murdered. I had to stand in place because he had accomplished so much while he was on parole and probation that they invited me to a ceremony, and it broke my heart. But it was 2 weeks before he was scheduled and he was executed. And I urge everybody, if you haven't checked into looking up the Casual Killing Act, that was something that they used to kill slaves back in the 1800s. They're still doing that now. They just changed. It's different. Like I said, it's the same pain, different names. They change things around to fit their agenda, their agenda of executing us for whatever reason. And they know dead folks can't talk. That's why they make up these false narratives. They can't even lie, right? They're not even good liars. That's
And
how you know that they're full of crap.
You said that, and I must stress this part, and I don't want to leave this out while we're still here speaking. You know, they've tried to tarnish everything about Cello. They've brought up every reason why he was on probation. They've brought up everything about his past. And he was not the person that killed somebody. The person that actually killed him, they haven't even said his name. So we know the person's name. His name is Kevin Sellinger, but the district attorney, hell, even the state of Pennsylvania have not even named the killer who killed Marcello, but they've made it known that Marcello did this back in the day, or Marcello did this.
Oh, that's what they do.
And you know,
that's what they do.
It's the same playbook all over.
Same playbook. Absolutely.
They tried to say that my daughter was some type of criminal.
That's what they do.
When they came in the door, she said clearly, "I love you guys. I love you." But they tried to say it in the courtroom. They wanted to get that in, that she was some sort of criminal. I'm like, what? And I had to sit there and listen to that. And he would like to get a new trial so that my family has to go through that a second time.
Yeah, that's terrible. But that's what they do. They dehumanize our loved ones, criminalize them, and they do everything. And then, if that's not enough, with the autopsy, with everybody, they will lie. They literally lied and said my brother had cocaine in his system. My brother, his whole entire life, never, ever, ever used cocaine. Never. And then the fact that he was on parole and probation, because I would take him to get a urinalysis every week. So how did you just get tested and you have no drugs in your system, but yet they come up with this foolishness that you had some type of cocaine or something? But that's what they do. They mix, like drugs. They say that they are combative. They do this to pretty much kill our loved ones over and over again, to kill their character, and that's what they do. But they never bring up these this killer cops background. So when they did what they did and was putting all this stuff out about Mr. West was on parole and probation, brought up stuff that he did back in 1990 when he was in the juvenile system, I'm like, okay, I did my own research and I got out every last one, because at the time they only let us know about 11 killer cops. And every last 11 killer cop that I knew about, I did my research, and all half of them shouldn't even been on the force. Half of them shouldn't have been on the force. Ruiz at the time was a deadbeat dad on parole. I mean, he was down, like he's probably riding around mad because his ex was taking him to child support court and they was garnishing all of his wages, and he was riding around on suspended license plates and all this stuff. I ran all those joker stuff. When I called my news press conference, I said, "Oh, y'all want to pull up Mr. West Pass? Well, let me share with you about Chapman being a wife beater. Let me share with you about Ruiz, being a deadbeat dad, all this stuff. Y'all want to pull on my brother, let's talk about it. They don't like when you give it back to them." So with that being said, we got a lot of questions. I'm going to go in just for time's sake. Khalil, can you check in with the questions or the comments? Mic check.
Mic check.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Many comments. Traber said, Erie County District Attorney Elizabeth Hertz, time for transparency. Erie County District Attorney's Office. Hillary Robbins Hellerback said the police, law enforcement, and state's attorneys' offices continue to cover for one another. They cannot police themselves. There needs to always be independent investigations and prosecutions when a death or murder enforcement is involved. Thank you both for enlightening us on these cases and for the work you are doing. Much respect. AC Britt commented, most lawyers are in bed with the Fraternal Order of Police, lawyers, and states, district attorneys too. They need to be aware of getting sidetracked from their mission of obtaining justice. Broken to Beautiful said, and it comes second. She doesn't even say it herself. It is a written statement. Shamel Henderson said 161 days of silence. AC, what does he need a new trial for? Or maybe that would be a good thing because he should be, I'm assuming referring to Sonia Massey's murderer. Sydney Lee Traber said, Erie, Pennsylvania, stands with you and your family, Mr. Wilburn. Bill Bleich said, Mr. James, we have a number of viewers this evening who may not know the details of the racist murder of your daughter. Can you explain for tonight's viewers? Unfortunately, he's not on, so hopefully we can ask him when he comes back. Broken to Beautiful said, I hope everything works out for your family in Illinois. Mimi O'Connor replied to Shamel Henderson with a heart emoji and prayer hands. Sydney Lee Traber, this parole officer is a Pennsylvania parole agent and is still working. He has been relocated and quote-unquote hit. Broken to Beautiful said amen. AC Britt said the Fraternal Order of Police is a legalized mafia. Gretchen Tome said, waiting to hear that the officer who killed Sonia refuses to take responsibility. I hope he doesn't get another trial. Hashtag justice for Sonia, justice for Cello, justice for Tyrone West, justice for all. Sydney commented, Tawanda, thank you so much for your support and advocacy. AC Britt, please like and subscribe if you're new to this channel. Bucky Buck said justice for Cello. Deontay Cool said justice for Cello. Angela Sutton said justice for all victims of police brutality. And yes, please like, share, and subscribe. Hey, AC Britt. Sydney said Erie, Pennsylvania was declared one of the worst cities for Black persons in the country. Racism was declared a public health crisis by Erie County in 2020. Systemic racism needs to end here, now. Craig Woodard Sr. said hashtag justice for Cello. Preach Malcolm. Thanks for speaking up nationally for Cello. DA Hertz needs to be ashamed of herself. Hashtag justice for Cello. AC Britt said, "Hey, beautiful. Good to hear from you, Ange." Bridget Hayes Hollenbeck said, "Hashtag justice for Cello. Hashtag justice for Sonia Massey." Patty Jones said, "Hashtag justice for Cello." AC Britt said, "That's disgusting. Literally paying for a lynching. WTF is wrong with people." Mimi said, "Hashtag justice for Sonia Massey." AC Britt, "It's taking too long. He should have been charged the next day in the very least. The system is so corrupt." Deontay Cooley said, "The name of the officer is Kevin Sellinger. Broken Too Beautiful. Body cams are necessary." Lady Nita said, "Justice for Cello. Broken Too Beautiful, with strict regulations and guidelines on who and when be turned off."
I think Kalia may have lost connection, so I'll read from that same point. AC Britt, totally a false narrative. Shamal Henderson, the probation officers' names are Kevin Seelinger and Aaron Osborne. AC Britt, that's the same crap they say all over the country. They'll claim all kinds of bullshit in order to justify these cases. It really feels like they have a script they pass around. Broken to Beautiful and a thought process in his mind. AC Britt, the so-called investigation takes so long because they're exploring all options on the cover-up. It's the same with all of these cases. When the state players delay, they're getting their storyline. Broken to Beautiful, his family and our city needs answers. Bridget Hayes Hollenbeck, there has been no transparency. AC Britt, set to cover up for this jerk. Set to cover up for this jerk. Unfortunately, here in Baltimore, we keep changing out the state's attorneys. In our state, they're not called DAs, they're called state's attorneys. And they still wind up being corrupted by money and the FOP. And I wrote, on the question of money pouring in for the racist probation officer killer for his defense, here's what I think. At any stage in history, the economic class in power dominates human thought. The big business capitalists who control the United States today make huge profits from racism by, on average, paying black and brown workers significantly lower wages. The bosses accumulate billions of dollars for themselves by doing this. To justify this racist exploitation, they need to create a horrendous all-around culture of racism. That's why numbers of people donate to the defense of a racist, murderous probation officer. My feeling is that once we defeat capitalism for the first time in history, we will then be able to defeat the culture of racism. We will be able to put an end to racist thinking, just like the idea about the world being flat is totally gone from human consciousness. We need to and can make racism a thing of the past. Kalia, are you back? All right, I'll continue. AC, Tawana, you want to take a break from the comments, or you want to go to the end?
No, you can read the comments until Mr. James come back on, and then we'll wrap up after that.
AC Britt, most of them are unqualified to represent the people in these cases. They're trying to play both sides, and they misrepresent the victims or do a case that falls apart in court so they get off. Cindy Lee Traber, she has a link here and says, here's the Ring camera video. So if you'd like to see that, take a look at the comments and copy that link. Daniel Hellerback says, my heart goes out to both of you and the families. It is terrible to have to lose your loved one and then to be re-traumatized by dealing with a system that is not working for justice for the victims. AC Britt, then they're going to get mad if there winds up being street justice. Craig Woodward, say his name, Kevin Seelinger. Kevin Seelinger was the DA or the probation officer?
No, he's the probation officer. Kevin Seelinger is the probation officer. One of them. The other one is Kevin Osborne.
So is
Killer
this person?
Kevin's.
Kevin is the Kevin. We don't think was the he's not the shooter. He was the initial contact person when the car was first stopped. He is the first one that went to the car. The second probation officer, which is Kevin Sellinger, is the one who actually shot Marcello.
All right, thanks for the clarification. And Craig Woodward says January 18th records say he should have been off probation. Broken to Beautiful says the FOP has too much power across the United States. AC Britt, that part, Broken to Beautiful's point. Life after the impact. Unfortunately, the code of silence in many states by elected officials seems to be the new norm. AC Britt, those online trolls are mostly cops and or racists. Lady Nita, they hate us for sure, but they love when we go against each other. Broken to Beautiful, the comments are so hurtful, and it hurts my heart that his family, especially his children, have to read those type of comments, referring to what was said in court, as I understand. Craig Woodard says day 160 is today, justice for Cello. Lady Nita says Jeepers Creepers in response to one of the comments. Lady Nita also says every movie shows us this, and she says get out. Lady Nita says answers for Dion Redwood. I know the truth. Oh, Dion Red, excuse me. Lady Nita, justice for Cello. Lady Nita again, yep, they're going to try to kill us. Lady Nita once again, for us trying to get the truth, they definitely hate when we know the truth. Life After the Impact, which is another organization fighting police brutality. What is the number the community can call to support justice for Cello? I'll pause there for a moment if you'd like to respond to that.
I know some of the group members are in the chat, and I'm sure Cindy will leave the numbers and information how to look up on Cello. You can look up on my social media page, Malcolm Pulliam. You can look up Justice for Cello social media page. His son has just started a page. It's called Enough Blood. His name is Malachi Woodard. You can check in on his page. There's a few other pages out concerning Justice for Cello. So feel free to tap into those pages. Like, comment, share. We post every day about Marcello. There's also different entities, Terry and Jerry Roberts, again, Cindy Triber, Deontay Cooley, myself, Malcolm Pulliam, Craig Woodard, Michael Woodard has pages concerning Marcello. Again, his son has a page, and he has just started a page called Enough Blood that everybody should check out and support him. Again, he is starting to be vocal for his father, and we all need to get behind Marcello's whole family. He has a son that will be graduating college. He has a baby son that is 8 years old, and he has a daughter that will be graduating high school. They can definitely use the support. This is a trying time for Marcello's father and his mother as well as his whole family. So we need to get behind them. There's a lot of people saying stuff online that is hurtful towards the family of Marcello, and we all need to correct those people when we see those things. We can't let that stuff slide. I usually block them and delete them. Some people talk back to them, but we need to continue making people aware that this is not right. Again, right is right, wrong is wrong. Marcello should still be here with us today.
That's for sure. When you said enough blood as a page, did you mean on Facebook?
Yes, he just started that page. I believe he just started it yesterday, but you can go on Facebook and find that page, join his community. Again, you can follow me. I update daily. You can again follow the Justice for Cello page. I do want to give a message to a friend of my family. He was killed last week in a senseless crime here in Erie, Pennsylvania. His name was Michael Mandrella. I just want his family to know that we are still praying for them, and they will get their justice soon. And again, his name was Michael Mandrella. He was a young man. I believe he was 23 years old. He was one of my son's best friends. And we just want them to know that we are praying for them. We are here with them, and we will not forget Michael, just like we won't forget the spirit of Marcello.
Thank you. My heart's with Michael. There are some more comments. Let me finish up, and then back to you and Tawanda. Treasure Tate has praying hands. Lady Nita, entertainment purposes only. I'm not sure what she was referring to. Treasure Tate, amen. Lady Nita, long live, long live, long live. Shamel Henderson, justice for Cello and praying hands. AC Britt, the medical examiners are part of the corruption too. Yes, that's for sure. Life after the impact, is there a call to action? I guess she means for a conference or a protest or a rally. Let me finish and we'll come back to that question.
Okay.
A Life After the Impact says they should care about what is happening in the community regardless if they know him personally or not. Cindy Lee Traber, Erie County District Attorney's Office. Here's the number, 814-451-6349. Once again, it's the Erie County District Attorney's Office, 814-451-6349. Life after the impact, half of them wasn't good or bad, no backbone. And me, so true, Mr. James, we will always keep fighting no matter what the racists do. AC Britt, they do more so-called investigation on the victims and witnesses than the perpetrators of these deaths. Mimi O'Connor, can't stop, won't stop, justice now. Daniel Hellerback, Tawanda always says they got the right person. Broken to Beautiful, they sure did bring up his past. Cindy Lee Triber, Deputy Chief of Staff, Government and Public Affairs, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Benjamin Wren, WREN, 223-327-1373, or there's an email here, so anyone viewing this can look at the comments and get his email. AC Britt, bent on demonizing the victims. Broken to Beautiful, just like they do to rape victims, they blame the victim. Broken to Beautiful, this is horrible. AC Britt, they put Narcan and Tyrone's system in the ambulance, the same ambulance the cops rode along in. Cindy Lee Triber, replying to Life After the Impact. Life After the Impact, I've listed contact info in the thread. Sue Clark, DA should be pulled off the case. Justice for Cello. Sue Clark, conflict of interest. Shamira Henderson, justice for Cello. Terry Hasbury, the lion is ready, and a fist. AC Britt, Kalia cut off. Yes, we realize that. The Social Experiment, Aaron Osborne. Bridget Hayes, Hollenbach. Kevin is the shooter. Aaron Osborne is the backup, as you were explaining. Craig Woodward Sr., or Woodard, excuse me, Aaron Osborne and Kevin Seelinger. AC Britt, someone posted the number. Shatira Franklin, enough blood official. The Social Experiment, hashtag justice for Cello every day. Cindy Lee Trieber, justice for Cello coalition. Cindy Lee, enough blood official. Is that the name of the page or just enough blood?
I believe so. It has to be enough blood official.
Okay, very good. Broken to Beautiful, we need every person who didn't do their job in these cases to be held accountable for their failures to these families and communities they represent or serve. Excuse me, I'm getting a little hoarse. It's a good problem. We've got lots of interest this evening. Lady Nita, and we should have hundreds of people in this live show. how much support our community shows until it's another justice for someone come together highlights. Broken to Beautiful, we need to keep up the pressure. Deontay Cooley, highlight. Antoine Sope Dupree, Justice for Cello. Broken to Beautiful, I posted the link. Shatira Franklin, we've come to the final comment. Thank you for raising more awareness for my baby Major. All right, it's been my pleasure to share all the comments.
Thank you, Uncle Bill, for that. I appreciate it. And my brother Malcolm, do you want to say anything before we kind of wrap up a little bit and close out soon?
Yeah, again, we want to make sure that our community continues to put pressure on our district attorney. We can use all the help. There's more voices that can be heard than just the few that attend our city council meetings and county council meetings. We invite everybody. There's not one leader that doesn't want justice for Marcello. Everybody is a leader. When we all come together, the more people, the bigger the voice. We need to continue screaming justice for Cello every day. His family deserves it. His kids deserve it. And we must understand that our district attorney has let a killer roam our streets of Erie, Pennsylvania since July 2nd. Our whole community should be outraged about that. Pressure should come from all angles, not just who you see speaking. Again, that man has been free since July 2nd. And our district attorney needs to understand that the people that care most about Marcello Woodard are not going away. This is going to be an everyday thing until she makes her decision. She needs to understand that right is right and wrong is wrong. Marcello needs to be resting in peace. Our governor needs to step in and help get this right. Governor Josh Shapiro, we've been calling on you. You haven't said a word. We're still waiting for you. We have new government officials starting in January. We're hoping that they continue to help push this out and get this situation right. Again, for those that don't know, on July 2nd, 2025, an unarmed black man in Erie, Pennsylvania named Marcello Woodard was killed by his probation officer. He is the first person in Pennsylvania to be killed by a probation officer, and he is the second person in the United States to be killed by a probation officer. That is not right. This cannot happen again, and we need all voices, whether you're in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, wherever you at in this live stream tonight. Please look in the comments, find the district attorney's phone number, call that number, ask questions. Again, we're asking for the district attorney to recuse herself. Just the way she's handled this case, it feel like it's botched. We feel like this is corruption, and we feel like this is a cover-up for murder. We will not let that narrative of Marcello being dragged happen. So again, this is a tragedy that should never happen again, and we send all our prayers to Marcello's kids and his family. And I appreciate you for having me on again tonight.
No, we appreciate you. And I want to check in real quick to see if our brother, Mr. James, got back in yet. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. It doesn't seem like he's on right now, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, he was having technical issues, but I'm glad that he was on here tonight, and I'm glad that we were able to do this. And this will not be the last time. I promise you, this will not be the last time, because I plan if I gotta bring you in here every week, whatever. And I want y'all, whenever y'all do decide to do a news press conference, like maybe sometime next year, give us enough of time. We can take a van, a bus, or whatever, and come down there from Baltimore and support y'all. Boots on the ground, let them see our face. Let them
I
literally
definitely
see our
will.
face.
I definitely will. And before we get up, I gotta thank a couple people. I want to thank Marquel Bridges. I'm sure you know Marquel out of Mississippi. He's been a big blessing to helping us fight. My girl, Life After Impact down in Virginia. She's been a big blessing to us. Um, Black Lives Matter Tampa Bay, Black Lives Matter Buffalo, Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. They have been a big blessing in helping store some ideas to us here in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I also want to again thank you for your continued support. You let me call you or text you anytime I need, if I got a question or if I got to ask you something. So I just want to thank all of y'all because y'all been a hidden blessing for us who had no clue how to do this when we first started this July 2nd. Y'all are some of the ones that I first came in contact with, and y'all done helped roll with me since July 2nd. So I appreciate y'all.
So we appreciate you, like literally, because had you not been boots on the ground like you're doing, they literally would have been like they're trying to sweep it under the rug with you doing all that you're doing, all the fighting that all of y'all doing down there in Erie. They're trying to cover it up. So imagine if nobody was doing nothing. It would have been an open and shut case. So I'm just glad y'all got boots on the ground, and we definitely going. I've been pushing for over a decade. And I'm gonna keep on pushing. We're gonna keep on pushing. Cause that's the thing, they try to make these things seem like it isolated for us, this system being dirty and corrupt and unfair, and it's not isolated. It's systemically happening, and it's happening too much. And we got at the end of the day, like my brother Boom say, and we all we need. And I plan on connecting you, my brother, with other brothers, because another powerful brother was supposed to have been on here, but he's out the country right now. But the next time when I talk back to him, when he get back in, I'm definitely truly gonna connect y'all and bring y'all two on here again. Bring you and him.
I've been trying to catch him too. I've been missing him, so I'm excited about that one.
Oh yeah, he was excited too, but he sent me a message because he said his Wi-Fi was acting up, and he said, but if he could have got Wi-Fi service, he definitely was gonna hop on here tonight. But anyway, but I'm definitely gonna connect you. And I'm gonna keep connecting you with Lottie Dottie and everybody. So I got your back. Don't even worry about it. So, unfortunately, I'm glad we don't have a like sad police brutality list tonight. Do we have any community violence lists tonight? Mic check.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah, we have community violence names and stuff.
I
Today.
can barely hear you. It sounds like it's breaking up real bad, Brian.
Okay. Being the time we can try and do this again next week when we have more time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so yeah. So we want. So what happened? So everybody, because of for time's sake, and I respect everybody's time. I love the buttons. Love the buttons. And I'm glad you held those buttons up. Cause on that note, we will come back next week with like the sad list and everything. And I'm just so glad you're fighting, and I'm glad you held those buttons up. And I just want to let everybody know we more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being pictures. I'm sorry, let me start over. We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirt. Our lives matter. It may not matter to the people that are executing us, but it matters to us. And we're going to keep on fighting. We can't stop. We won't stop until all these killers are in cell blocks. I don't care if it's a killer probationary officer. I don't care if it's a killer cop. I don't care if it's a killer judge, a lawyer, whoever it is, they have to go. Like, we're not going for it. We're standing here peacefully, humbly, and we're doing the most, vocal thing that we can do. They may have the guns and weapons, but we had a voice, and until they kill our voices off, we're gonna always be out here. And even if they try to do that, we still gonna come back. We still got people that's going to be out here representing boots on the ground for us. So, do you want to say anything, my brother, before we actually wrap up? And I see we got a few more questions. and we'll go to them because I don't want to leave nobody out, and then we're gonna just go to the video and we're gonna close out. Mic check.
You could go ahead with the questions and close out.
Give me 1 minute because I'm trying to find where I left off here.
Okay. But again, I want to thank each and every last one of y'all that commented, questioned, that shared this, and keep sharing it, guys. Keep sharing it. And I just want to say, unfortunately, we don't want anybody else to be a cello. We don't want anybody else to be an Xavier, a Tyrone West, a Timothy Flemings. We don't need none of this. We don't need no more Sonia Massey's. You understand me? Because this pain is real. And the pain, and let me tell you, the pain totally hits different when it's your loved one. Like, we can all emphasize and all that and humble ourselves and, be hurt. But when it's your loved one or you, the pain hits totally different. And I just, like I said, I'm real humble and I'm thankful that people that haven't even been personally affected by this are boots on the ground for this. So I give y'all mad love and respect for that. Off the top.
And before I do go, I do want to give shouts out to Shataria Franklin, Snowy Crosby. Snowy is a family member of Marcello, and a couple weeks after Marcello got killed, her brother Smoothie was also murdered. And he was actually out there with us protesting and doing things. So I want to make sure that they get their love as well. Shataria is Little Major's mother. He is the youngest child of Marcello's. Again, Marcello has an older son and an older daughter. We want to make sure that his fiance and her twin sister Shamel and Shamir, they get their love. Everybody that comes to city council meetings, county council meetings, everybody that posts and share on Facebook about Marcello, keep doing what you are doing. It continues to spread the message. These podcasts like this that I'm on right now continues to spread the message. There is so many more people than just me and others that you see, and we appreciate and we acknowledge everybody that is continuing the fight for Marcello. And I can't stress that enough. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than the faces that you see. But if we stick together and continue being a team, no matter who is screaming justice for Cello, we must stay together.
I'm ready with thank you for those remarks. I'm ready with the rest of the comments. Deontay Cooley said, keep stepping, bro. You know we're coming right behind you. We're not going anywhere. Broken to Beautiful says, we need a peaceful picket protest. Mimi says, replying to Shataria Franklin, love and prayers and ongoing advocacy for you and your precious Major. Lady Nita replying to Deontay Cooley, and a symbol of agreement, that part. Broken to Beautiful, justice for Cello. Mimi, thank you, Malcolm. Craig Woodard, great work, Malcolm. Michelle Dovershaw, yes, brother Malcolm. Pulliam. Broken to Beautiful, thank you to the host and her team, Malcolm. Mimi O'Connor, thank you for bringing us together. Michelle Dovershaw, the comment didn't come through. We appreciate, this is Deontay Cooley. We appreciate you all for the support. Shataria Franklin, thank you to every person named. Restream, I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Michelle Dovershaw, we will not stop. Craig Woodard, we've only just begun. Justice for Cello. AC Britt, that sounds crazy. I don't recollect which point she was responding to. Craig Woodard, I see you, Malk. Michelle Dovershaw, justice for Cello. Shamel Henderson, justice for Cello. Patty Jones, justice for Cello. Mimi, justice for Cello. Broken to Beautiful, justice should be blind, fair, and equally applied. Bridget Hayes, Justice for Cello. Michelle Dovershaw, always. And that concludes the comments that have been sent in this evening. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic
So again, mic check. So again, I just want to thank each and every last one of you guys for tuning in tonight, for all the positive comments and questions and concerns. And this will not be our last time. This is not our last time. Until we get it. Until we get justice and accountability for Cello, for Sonia Massey, for all the victims. We're not going anywhere. We're going to continuously do this. We cannot spend time with our loved ones, but guess what? We're going to spend time on their heels. Y'all took something from us that we can't get back, and now y'all gained us. Now y'all gain a team that's going to fight y'all to the end, peacefully, respectfully. We're going to keep putting y'all on blast. If that means we got to come shut your wedding down, whatever the case may be, because it's unfair for us to not be able to enjoy our loved ones and y'all just going with y'all life like, business as usual. No, not when you took our loved ones. Respectfully, not when you took our loved ones. And it's so sad that it doesn't even matter if you greet these killers with love. You heard Sonia Massey inviting the killers in. I love you. Real sweet, real generous. And he murdered her. And all of this, I don't even want to use no potty words, but all of this joker, this murderer is going to get it up to 20 years. But let Sonia Massey would have entered his house and would have did the same thing. We would have never saw her again if it was on the flip side. She would have been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Anytime they can give a teenage child 80 years. First crime, 80 years right here in my city. 80 years, no questions asked. 80 years. So this and the system is not broken, because I hate when people say that term, and it's not my brother Malcolm, and it's not nobody but Tawanda Jones saying it. This is a system that's operating and functioning in a way that it always have, and it's not for us. It's definitely not for us. It's, to me, something broken means that at some point it was operating fine and then it broke. Like if you're using your washing machine until it breaks, it's working perfectly. This system never worked good for us. It never worked. It hates us. It demises us. I feel like we should knock it down, build it back up again. But until we do that, till we come to those terms, we're going to keep fighting peacefully, respectfully for accountability for our loved ones. We're doing it the right way. So again, I want to thank each and every last one of you tonight. Remember, live to love to live. I love you all. And again, just be safe out here. And please keep all of us in your prayers. Keep us safe. I'm asking y'all to dispatch angels around my brother, because every time we come up against this system, you don't realize how big that target gets on our back. Every time. Every time. So I rebuke anything, negative, and I just rebuke it. So with that being said, live to love to live. I love you. Thank you, my brother Malcolm. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you, the West Coalition. Rachel, just thank you, everybody. Live to love to live. I love you all. And unfortunately, we have to end with that awful video. That's real. It's nothing made up. There's no actors or actress on here. This is real live footage of people that were impacted by one of the first killer cops that murdered my brother. Tyrone West was literally beat down, y'all, in broad daylight by up to 20 killer cops, literally. And this is some of the testimonial from them. So continue on watching this video to the end. Continue on sharing this, and we're going to continue on fighting. And my brother, please update me. I'm only a phone call away. You can call me in the middle of the night anytime you need to, but let me know when we can get down there. And I think it should be something for 2026. Let's get us all in the mix. Let's get down there and start supporting each other. We got a caravan, whatever the case may be. Let us know. That way I can take off work from teaching at my school, the little babies and whatnot, and come right down there and be right down there doing whatever we need to do and talking to you. And meanwhile, we're going to keep calling. So I'm going to get that number up there today. And I want all my 5,000 followers. All I want y'all to do is just dial that number and ask them, when are they going to prosecute this killer cop? This killer probationary officer, because nobody in Uri is safe with this killer roaming around. He can ride up to someone's girlfriend home and take that person's life. 3 bullets? 3 bullets, y'all. 3 bullets is beyond comprehensible. Like that's disgusting. So we all need to do something, because guess what? He can literally leave that city and come over here. So don't think that it can't travel. We need to make calls, guys, and we need to do it ASAP. Live to love to live. I love you all. And hold on momentarily to the video, but this is the end of the podcast. But please share. Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you want to talk to me? Why would you say that?
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the gun trace task force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the Officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.